get back a second to just the zeitgeist and animal liberation, because I think the pandemic, we talk a lot about what we do to animals, and the conversation's been focused on the condition for animals. It feels like with the pandemic, we're also looking at how our treatment of animals is impacting us as human beings, since we're talking about an epidemic that was allegedly spawned by...
Well, it came from animals.
It came from animals.
Which
whether
animals
it
it came
from
from
or
or whatever,
market,
yes.
we don't know. Does that shift the conversation when you're talking to people?
I think it should. I think it's pretty obvious that most of the pandemics that we've had have come from animals. The previous pandemic to COVID-19 was the swine flu pandemic, which clearly came from factory farmed pigs. You think about it, you put tens of thousands of animals in a building, crowded together, stressed, and viruses will be in there, and they will transmit very easily across these animals whose immune systems may not be working as well as they should because of the stress. And then you have humans going in there and doing things with them. You are going to get more pandemics, more viruses released in that way. And that's a real danger. And lots of people have warned about that. But it hasn't stopped those factory farms from existing.
We've talked about the state of debate. What about the state of capitalism? I know that in terms of, you've been very influential in the Giving Pledge. Are we as giving a society now as even we were when you were starting out? Are we more giving?
I think the United States is a giving society. And if you look at the number of dollars donated to charitable causes, it has actually increased, although the number of people giving has shrunk, and that's a worrying sign.
Well, wealth
concentration
may be a factor in that.
That's right. The very wealthy people are giving more. But my problem is that they're not really giving effectively, or they're not paying attention to where are the causes where they can do the most good, whether it's per dollar or per $1 million that they're able to give. I think that's really important. And that's why I set up The Life You Can Save, to curate a list of the most effective organizations that are helping people in extreme poverty. Because that's, I think, if you want to help humans anyway, that's where the dollar goes furthest. It goes furthest when you're helping people who are struggling to live on about $2 per day. And it's pretty easy to realize that if people are living on $700 or $800 a year, and you have $1,000 to give, you can transform their life, because now they can do things that they could never afford to do, like have a little capital to start a small business, which they couldn't do before because they needed to spend all their money just to eat and feed themselves and their family and provide some shelter. So I would like Americans to do a little more research, to go online, to look at The Life You Can Save, for example, or to look at GiveWell, which is another organization that does this kind of research, and say, I want to give to the organizations where I'll get the best value for money. After all, that's what we do when we go around shopping. If we're buying a new phone or a new car or whatever, of course we check around, we do some research. Where will I get the best value for my money? When people give to charity, unfortunately, it's much more impulsive, and they don't. And I wish they brought the same mentality to giving to charity that they would to buying something.
Penny wise, pound foolish, I think is the term.